Hi, good morning. This is Lynn Zuzek and this is Faith Talk. Probably going to do two today because these are only 10 minutes long and I have a couple different subjects to talk about. But today, before I forget, sometimes it's important to record things before you forget. I had a testimony from yesterday and I just feel that it's significant, and I also want to point out in relation to the one that I had happen, I want to relate it to also something, a testimony or two that Mel Bond shared before, and I guess I'll share mine first. So we were at the zoo yesterday and I'm very careful whipping around in my wheelchair. If I go fast, I hold on to the back, and I was, it's a little like the tar around the zoo is smooth, but it's not perfect. So then you have to be really careful. Well, I don't know what happened, but I was also trying to use my phone to take pictures. Anyway, I went towards an area and not to belabor what happened, because I really don't know why it happened, but all of a sudden I lost control. I was, instead of hanging on, I hit a dip, and whether I was hanging on or not, it flew me, and I even pushed more on my wheelchair accidentally. I was out of control, and I was like, my mind was like, I'm going down. I'm going to fly out of my chair. And my cell phone fell off my lap, which is usually hung up, so it can't. And I was like, and then, my reflex action to pull back, but my thinking is I can't recover from this because of, I'm used to thinking I can't. Well, whether I had stomach muscles working or back muscle working or not, some momentum could still throw you out of a chair. Really don't know what happened, but I didn't fall out. I recovered, and I sat there, and then I was actually rolled over my cell phone. That didn't get broken, and I was trying to figure out what just happened. So sometimes when there's a miracle, it can even take days to figure out what happened, or longer. I don't know whether an angel pulled me back or I had stomach muscles working and back muscles working that I'm not aware of. I don't really want to try it again to see if I can pull myself back, but I didn't fall out, and I don't know why not. So, it definitely something happened, but when something good like that happens, sometimes later you do figure it out what happened, and it was a miracle. So, praise God for the protection. But it's all about what you believe, because I did have an accident in 1985, and for many years I was like, in my heart, like, why didn't God protect me from that? Where were my angels? And it's very upsetting, but I'm doing what I can to change that so this never happens again. So I even started learning how to believe for how to never have another car accident. I've had several. Not only the one that caused my spinal cord injury, but other ones, and I'm like, this is not okay. So I started getting faith by listening to and hearing other people talk about their stuff that didn't happen, didn't blurring through another car, ending up on the other side when you should have hit. So I'm like, I'm taking that. I'm gonna do that. That's my faith. No more car accidents. No, it doesn't matter, how careful you are, something could start to happen. So not too long ago, maybe a year ago, I know we were driving along and somebody was seemed like they were going to T-bone us, and I was trying to be in faith, like if it's hard to decide to do that, because last second you don't know what you're going to think. But I was like, no, from now on I'm going to be like trying to resist. Some people call out Jesus, but anyway, we didn't hit. He skidded to a stop, my husband, and we didn't hit, and it almost like, what happened? And I go, we didn't hit. I started cheering, and I took that as a miracle. I didn't know how we didn't hit. So I said, I really think that something just happened. So those are good testimonies to listen to, because testimonies help us believe for ourselves. So on that note, I'm going to say that Mel Bond, he's a preacher of miracles in Montana, or one of those states with an M. He's an Indian, kind of American Indian preacher, and he's had some amazing miracles. He does pray over people, but one of them that I'm going to refer to is he was parachuting, and he tells the story really well. I don't know how to tell you to find it. Mel Bond parachute accident, maybe on YouTube. And the point is that he decided in his older age to parachute, and he was very honest about how maybe he shouldn't have done it, for one thing. And but what happened is something happened, parachute didn't work right, he landed too hard. I don't know if he was on his back. Something happened where anyway, it actually took him a few days to figure out that he had left his body, because he saw somebody that he knew miles away. It was like he was there. And then he also speaks about being back in his body and the pain, but he was like, I am not dying. I'm, because that was what he was believing for. I'm not dying, and I'm going to, in faith, I'm going to try to get up, in the name of Jesus. So he said it was the hardest thing he ever did, but just the idea to get up, and he did. He says he believes, he figured out later that he raised from the dead. Raised himself from the dead. I love it. And I believe that's possible. It's like, I love it when I hear something new. It's like, well, you don't even think you could do that, but I'm going to tuck that in my pocket, my faith pocket, and remember that when I need to. Sometimes we don't even, we really don't know all that we can do in faith. That's the whole problem. And we can't in faith, because it's God giving us the faith, the ability. Our faith works just like Jesus, and we can live and not die. We don't have to die. So those are some, oh, he had another testimony I just heard recently about almost being killed by a cow, and And the good thing about that one was he's like, you would think I would have been like calling out to Jesus, but I just basically thought, this is it, I'm dying right now, it's gonna hurt, and then I'll be with the Lord. And you know, it's good to know that we don't have to, I mean, our natural inclination to start to believe that we don't have to die, you know, is the recipe for being rescued and saved by angels. You know, just giving into death itself, just like, anyway, he didn't necessarily say things that he should have, but he was rescued. Praise God. A lot of people just think that means God just decided to save him, but whatever. I'm still believing that it's a part of our responsibility to keep believing for life and not death. So I hope you get something out of those. It's been 11 minutes now, so I'm just gonna stop here, and those are my testimonies for you.